Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Amanda, and I woke up this morning with a lot of messages coming through. So I'm going to share those messages, channeled messages with you. I reached over and I had to just pull my phone off the dresser and just like half awake type in what was coming through because it was so much. And I have some oracle cards that I'll share as well that I was just called to pick up the deck and share these cards because I didn't hand select them. They came through in another when I did a reading the other day. So I'm going to share them for myself because they feel completely tied into the message here. So collective shift and rebirth, we're probably all feeling this a lot. There has been a huge amount of energy coming up in the collective. I just saw 111 par for the course, and it's been pretty intense. I myself went through a very unexpected rebirth process on the 6/6 portal. It was just all very synchronistic and aligned, and I was very much guided to this meditation that somebody else was hosting. It's beautiful to be able to receive from somebody else. And oh man, I felt like I just left my body. I dissolved. And when I came back in, I was just like, ooh, like it just felt like a whole new level of me. But you know, there's recalibration that comes through this process when you integrate higher energies, when you get activated with higher energies, there's a recalibration that occurs. And because we live in this world of polarity and duality, we may also find when we step into another level, when we get activated into another level, that things in our circumstances, our surroundings, our environment, and the people in our life might pick up on that, and there may be more interference energy. I feel like I spoke with a number of people, and this energy of interference has been occurring not just with me, but with many people I have spoken with. So if you've been picking up on that, you're not alone. It's this recalibration, and what we're being called to do is really integrate and anchor in, and to really understand this process of rebirth and awakening, because what the message that really wanted to come through is that awakening is not linear. We often see it as the different stages of awakening, where we go into the dark night of the soul, kind of the underground, and then we come up and then we kind of integrate and we process, and then there we are. If only it was so simple, right? But the truth is that it's really a journey of going up the spiral. It's a continual ongoing journey of going into the depths and coming back up. So this is what, and the message that was coming through as well was, this is what the rise of the divine feminine is about, is really integrating the cyclical nature of our life, as well as this journey of awakening and ascension. We have multiple rebirths, and this is a message that was starting to come through last night, and then this morning I woke up in the last couple days I was like multiple rebirths, and then this morning it was like da 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 da. So I also just want to know if you've been experiencing ear ringing and vivid dreams. I've had a lot of vivid dreams and a lot of ear ringing. Obviously the dreams are often subconscious things coming up. It's processing, could be astral stuff, but pay attention to what's coming up in your dreams. Pay attention, and if you can remember, write them down. Sometimes I can remember, and sometimes they escape before I get a chance to write them down, or like the details, some of the details escape me. But I do trust that what I remember is like the core message. And for me, I'll share, I've had a number of dreams like this over the last several years where there's a lot of water energy, but specifically, I had another one of these the other night where I was pulling people out of the water. And so I wanted to share that because if anybody else has been experiencing dreams with water, I do feel that, you know, there's a lot of significance to the emotional depths that we, you know, process through water. Water is emotions, it is memory. And, you know, this energy of me pulling other people out of the water, it's like, am I trying too hard to do the work for other people? And to get the weight of the world off my back is another message. And this also ties to the spinal recalibration that is happening. I've personally been releasing a lot from my spine, my neck, my shoulders. This has been an ongoing thing. It's like I literally felt like I had the weight of the world on my shoulders for quite some time. And it's been a process of releasing that. And this, you know, it's going to mean different things for different people, but, you know, are you taking on the burdens of others? Are you feeling like the weight of responsibility to lift up the entire collective is on your shoulders, perhaps? And we have to remember that we lead the way by being the light, by showing others how to walk the path, but we don't have to drag them along. We don't have to lift them up, and we don't have to do the work for them. And we trust that our energy and frequency will activate them. And when they're ready, they will come forward to ask for help, for support, for guidance, or they will just continue to watch and witness and learn by you being that highest version of self, being a beacon of love. So there's a lot in here, but I do feel it all weaves together because as we release those burdens, we get to rise up the spiral. We get to move through this next process of rebirth. So we have multiple deaths and rebirths, and the number 7 kept coming through as well, which obviously correlates to the chakras. So part of me was like, do we have 7 primary deaths and rebirths when we go on this journey? Or, you know, it just could be related to the releasing of all the chakras. But I had that moment of curiosity because that was coming through a fair amount. Like, is that how it goes? Like 7 kind of more distinct rebirths. I don't think there's a distinct number of awakenings and integrations and rebirths necessarily, but what if there are 7 kind of like bigger distinct ones and it kind of correlates to the energies of each chakra? I don't know. If anybody has information on that, I would love to know. I'd be so curious if there is some esoteric teaching out there that explains that, but obviously we have these very distinct numbers that are related to the spiritual journey, and 7 is one of them. So something about the 7 chakras and the death and rebirth process was coming through, and maybe it's a message that is for somebody watching, and there's something within the 7 for you there. The number 12 has been coming through a lot as well, and that's the expanded chakra system. It's the 12 strands of DNA. It's the 12 dimensions. There's a lot within the number 12. A 12-year cycle even. Maybe somebody's completing a 7-year cycle. We can look at these numbers in a lot of different ways, but these were the messages that were coming through. So the knots in the back were also, what was coming through was through this spinal release, we're releasing knots in our energetic field, the knots being blocks to our energy flow. And I just got some chills in my legs. So that message is important to share. So we're allowing the energy to flow more freely and fluidly as we release these physical knots of tension. So doing the somatic work, I've been doing a lot of that. And yes, I'm still building my body temple blueprint. This is another message for another day. It doesn't feel aligned to share about it, but part of my whole recalibration the last few days was just like, what? Like there's actual business interference on the back end. And I thought I was losing my whole platform. But I guess that actually does tie into this interference energy and actual psychic attack energy potentially. So, you know, when we go through these upgrades and these recalibrations, these collective shifts, these collective rebirths, people come into our field. I just saw 1010, so this is wholeness and completion as well. So I feel like for a lot of people, this is ending a big cycle. And that was a part of the message that I was getting with 12 as well. But there might be people coming back from the past to kind of poke at you, people that you thought you like completely had left behind, like you wiped your hands of and walked away. But they can kind of pick up on you ascending, on you elevating, on you upgrading energetically. And, you know, we can get into deeper layers of energies working through them as well. But, you know, they can come and poke and prod when they sense that you are elevating and upgrading. So the task is to remain centered. This was another message coming through, is like the middle path of integration and coming into the center. And I just saw 1111, so it's alignment, right? Coming into alignment through inner union of the masculine and feminine, coming into that middle path of the ego and the soul. The ego creates the container for the soul. The masculine creates the container for the feminine. The mind creates the container for the heart's wisdom and visions to actually be actualized and created. And I just got some tingles in my right leg because, you know, a lot of us get into this feminine flow energy when we enter this path. We leave the structures and the strict energies of the matrix behind, and we fully enter the feminine. But what's necessary is to recalibrate, to come back into that energy of integration, because we do need the masculine energy in order to build the new structures for the new earth. We've just got to write them up again. Everything's been inverted, so we have to create new structures. We have to build from a solid foundation. We have to be anchored and solid. So, you know, we go through these phases of ascent and descent, of going up the spiral, of recalibrating the deaths and rebirths, so that we can create this foundation from a space of true integrity and true harmony, because it brings us closer to that 0 point, that place of the center, the middle path, I suppose you could say, where it's in harmony, it's in balance. Everything has been disharmonic and completely out of balance in our world, obviously. And so this is the task. It's like spiraling us closer and closer to our truth, to our higher purpose. This is one of the angel oracle cards that has been sitting there and just keeps like looking at me. And so I was like, okay, I guess this does need to be shared. So, I mean, it's a beautiful image, but this higher purpose energy is really what we're being recalibrated to. The deaths and the rebirths, it's not the death of the ego, but it's the death of the old ways. It's the death of the old patterns of limitation. We need the ego to be the container and to help us to actually move forward. Otherwise, we're just kind of like, la la. And that's very ungrounded spirituality, and that is not how we build anything. So, you know, when is New Earth coming? It's when we actually get grounded and anchored in ourselves and begin to actually take the steps and the action toward building and creating. And it's like the doing and the being have to be balanced. And yes, like some of that is throat chakra stuff coming out to express ourselves fully. But yeah, so again, it's like this deeper you dive, the higher you rise energy. And I do want a presence, because I started talking about the divine feminine rising is about bringing that cyclical nature back into our awareness and our consciousness. But Venus is still in the underworld. And she has been in the underworld for a little bit, but she's officially entered her evening star phase, which is the ascent. So she is about to rise up, rebirthed, but she is still in the underworld, which brings me to this card. I'm just kind of intuitively picking them up. We're still nurturing, we're still mothering, we're still being rebirthed, And slowly coming out of the womb is maybe one way to look at it. It's like the seedling that's been planted. It takes a moment, even though the seed underground has been sprouted and the roots are beginning to grow, it takes a moment for it to be visible. So it's this dual energy of taking action, but also surrendering to the divine timing and trusting that the recalibrations that are happening, any delays that are coming, are recalibrations to solidify that foundation so that it is built truly on an energetic alignment with harmony and love and joy and new earth and integrity and honor and all of those energies that have really largely been lost. So if things have been breaking down and perhaps even being completely swept away, trust that. It's not easy, but there is a reason. There's a higher purpose for all of this. So, and that's number 9, if, that resonates. 9 is a powerful soul vibration as well. It's the 144 added up. We also obviously have 369. So, I just felt called to bring that forward. Treasure of the soul. So this is about allowing that heart knowing to blossom from within as well. And we have the Sri Yantra in the center of that. For anybody who's not familiar, it is a yantra that means prosperity. It is to bring in wealth and abundance. And a lot of people need to recalibrate to the meaning of money and wealth and abundance and what it really means. Spiritual abundance means we also do get to have the resources. So if people are like, oh, like money and spirituality don't mix, please take a look at that programming, that belief rooted in poverty vows, rooted in, religious programming. That is not actually the case. Money itself is neutral. It's the intention behind it. It's the energy behind it. So we get to alchemize what the meaning of money is. So I didn't expect an abundance message to come through, but obviously it's at the heart of this card. So I wanted to be shared. And then I have this. Oh, and then, okay. And then this card is there too. See, peaceful prosperity. Prosperity is the foundation for the energy of new earth. Actually, overflow of abundance is the energy of new earth. And look how beautiful and vibrant that is. That card with all that joyful energy, and it's like the lower chakras being grounded and anchored, allowing the energy to flow. But there's a sense of peace, and actually peace is the root, the foundation that came through when I was in the King's Chamber of the Great Pyramid in Egypt. This activation series, the Golden Keys of Abundance, as I call them, came through, and each one had a frequency, like a New Earth chakra frequency, and I didn't understand it at the time, but it eventually clicked what it all meant. But peace was the root chakra foundation. So this is the foundation we have to build on, inner peace. And then I have this card, that blue flame. Is very activating. It reminds me of another card in, I think it's the Starseed Oracle deck, the blue flame activation. But look at that beautiful blue flame in this card. And there's obviously a lot of yellow energy. So perhaps you've got some solar plexus or throat chakra or both energy to work with, but also working with the blue flame might be something that you want to do. But it says soothing mind and spirit. So there's this calming energy that comes with the blue. Of course, we've got the nurturing mother energy, and Mother Mary, blue robes. She's associated with the blue rose, and I said blue robes, but also blue rose. And I just associate her with like the light blue heart. And then we have blessed with gratitude. So gratitude being the key to unlock prosperity, to unlock abundance, to unblock our unlock our blessings, unblock our heart to unlock our blessings. That it totally fits. And then, this message that we are not alone, council of light, helpers in the subtle realms, divine orchestration. There's also this chakra energy. So the chakras seem to be really important in this message today. Yeah. And then the crumbling, this is literally letting go of the old. It's pretty obvious. It's this tower energy, but the tower is to remove everything that is not aligned, right? Because what's through the gates, this like activation energy. Okay, we get to let go of everything that's not aligned, but then we step through the gates into heaven on earth. So what are you clinging to that isn't aligned with your new timeline, your highest timeline, with your higher purpose? What is preventing you that you're holding on to, carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders? And perhaps it's energies in your life that you're not meant to take with you. There's a sign in Tulum. You can't take it with you. So that's what the Tower card is really about. And yeah, it's not always easy to admit or to recognize. So don't dim to fit in. Deep replenishment. This is this nurturing energy, but it's also calling us forward. And Warrior Woman came out. So have you answered your deepest calling, which connects to this higher purpose? And Pillar of Light. So this is also, to me, the rainbow bridge, right? So the Pillar of Light, your vibration is rising. You are the oracle. So trusting your intuition, allowing that activation to come through, allowing the messages and the knowings to blossom from within and to guide you forward, to take action on those knowings as well is a key. But that sacred bridge, a few videos ago, or 2 videos ago maybe, I did the sacred bridge energy. I already discussed that. And that's what I see this pillar of rainbow light being as well. We are the rainbow bridge anchoring in heaven onto the earth, right? But that's when the chakras are all activated. So wow, yeah, we really have a lot of this chakra energy coming through today. I didn't really know like the fullness of the message before I sat down. I just had all these channeled messages and these cards that wanted to be shared. So Anna, grandmother of Jesus, seeing the light, laying the foundations, divine plan. So this is really tying everything together. This is a conversation I've been having with a lot of people in my world as well, that we are anchoring in the blueprint for a new humanity. We are anchoring in the blueprint for a new earth. And that takes time. That takes recalibration. We're building the foundation, and the foundation is the most important part. It's also the part that takes the longest. Because if you're not building on a solid foundation, which is what we've been seeing in our world, then what we build is not going to last. The energetic blueprint of what we are building is the most important. And this is what we have to understand. We need to be this energy in order to build new earth. As within, so without. Whoever is behind the vision and the intention, all of us, we have got to be in integrity. We've got to be in alignment. We've got to be embodied. Embodiment is the key. We've got to be embodied in these energies of harmony and love and bliss and union. And, you know, walking the way of love, walking the walk, truly. It's one thing to know it. It's an entirely different thing to actually embody the frequency, the beingness of what it means to be a light worker, what it means to be the way shower, walking the path of love. And I just keep coming to, so this card, I should probably do I love this card so much. I should probably do a whole video on it. And I just saw 2323, which is 5-5. I've been seeing a lot of 5-5-5s, a lot of 5-5-5s. So that's an energy of transformation and change. So this is grandmother of Jesus, right? So she knew the mission. She knew the blueprint, but she had a very long lifetime. And most people don't know who she is. But she was laying the foundations. And that's what I think collectively we're doing. You will do greater things than me. That's what Yeshua said, right? And I think we don't even understand the fullness. But okay, this is another message for another time. But yeah, this being the last card, this is setting the stage. We're really anchoring in the blueprint right now, and it's coming through you. So this is what this rebirth is about. This is what the releasing of the old is about. And this is why we've got to really nurture and mother ourselves right now. Deep replenishment, because this is just the beginning. So it's very exciting time. So I wasn't exactly sure how this message was going to come through, but wow, that was really fun. I hope you enjoyed that. So yeah, if this resonates, I so appreciate your energy and your presence and your time for being here. And you know, the likes, subscribes, comments really help my channel. They help all the channels. It's not easy to do all of this work, so any way to support it, sharing the message with others is so appreciated. And yeah, I'm just sending you lots of love. I will be sharing the Body Temple Blueprint. The free masterclass is available, so I'll link that below. I am recalibrating myself, but I really love working with people who like to go deep. So if you're looking for one-on-one support, right now I am offering that for a short amount of time because I am anchoring in and recalibrating to like the new container that I'm going to be building. But right now, to do that, I'm feeling really deeply called to work one-on-one, and I have multiple forms for that. So, you know, lengths of container. So if you're feeling called, I would love to connect with you, and I will drop my information below. So I'm sending you much love, onward and upward, and this is just the beginning.